Right, this is where we stopped last time, and then we understood the using columns and putting list styles inside, right? But then, so I opened it today in this session, and I realized that there is this overflow error, many regarding the size. So what happens is we there's an overflow basically. So these are the things that you will be facing when you are working with column, right? You want to have it as a column, so you are putting the things one after the other. So using column for list items is not appropriate to use. So this time we are going to see what we need to do. So the thing we need to do is basically to change it to list view. Flutter has an inbuilt list view. So this is my home screen, the first screen that we are working with, the home chat one. So right now we need to go to the column. Instead of being column, right, we just basically change it to list view, right? So list view, the camel case naming, right? So now let's reload this and see what we will have. Now the error is gone, right? The error is gone. Then we just scroll up and down, then you can see that everything is working fine. Okay, just replacing the column with list view, right? Is list view is able to handle everything, and then you can scroll up and down, right, without facing any error. But if it was the other one, if we are using column, everything will squeeze to fit just into the page. So list view is one that allow you to be able to scroll between pages. All right. There's something that we need to take note of. So the home screen is one of the pages, right? Now, look at this. We are returning a scaffold here because it's a home screen. But then this is an additional knowledge that you need to have. So you go to the nav.dat, right? The nav.dat is actually the one that is displaying all the bottom navigation bar items, right? And here we are replacing each screen that we will get. All right. Now, and then we are expecting it to be inside the body, right? But inside the body, right, for each screen, for example, the home screen, when we go to the home screen, for example, right, we are having another, it's returning from a scaffold. It is also starting from a scaffold, right? But then in the nav this thing, there's already a scaffold here, right? And the body is expecting the body content, right? So it's as if we are putting scaffold here each time. So that's not appropriate to do. Okay, so we need to go to back to our home screen, and for each screen that we are returning, we need to keep that in mind that okay, there is already a scaffold at the where we are using them at, so we don't need to return a scaffold when it is the home screen, the main screen. We don't need to return a scaffold again. We need to return the content of a body, because that's what we are returning when we get to nav. So now whatever screen that we'll get, we just need to return the body side of it. So it's not appropriate to do it as we did it. So what we do is that we'll go to back to the home screen and make sure that we put everything just inside the body, so the body will be the one to return. So we don't even need this, we just return the content of the body, because body is already at the nav side. So this is what the nav side will be, the one to take the body. So we don't have to worry about using a scaffold and using body for each screen. We just need to directly go to the screen and then return whatever we want to return here, right? So basically for this home screen, we don't need to return a scaffold, we just return a list view, because it will the scaffold is going to be built inside the nav.dat, where all the navigations are going to be happening at. So with that in mind, we need to remove this side, remove all this, and then the scaffold, we are going to remove the scaffold as well, right, so that we can return only the screen. So you see, I'm going back to just make sure I return list view. Now I'm returning only list view. Now we need to go down, 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 and be able to end it with where are you? We are scrolling down. So this is an extra comma. It doesn't need to be end with comma but semicolon now. Right? These are the things that you need to fix inside. Okay. So now we see that we are only returning, the body is only returning list view. That's all we are returning. We are returning just a list view, and this list view, when this screen goes to the nav dot that body list view will be here, right? And then the scaffold is already taken care of over here, so we don't need for each screen be using scaffold inside them again, because when they appear here, you just need to return whatever you want in the body and it will show. Let's refresh this and see the updated version. So this is the updated version, right? It's still also scroll, but if you notice something now, there's no up bar, right? Because this main scaffold doesn't have the up bar, right? But I want each screen to have their own up bar. You can make a universal up bar for everything. If you make a universal up bar for everything, you just put it here. This is the body, so universal up bar for everything. We have um up 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 bar, so up bar here like this. Right. Then you need make a universal app bar for everything. Then I go and say, what do we need to have? Title, right? Title is going to be a test widget, and the test widget is steady app. So I'm going to just put chats there. Right. So my screen is low, my battery is low. All right. Now let's get back into it. So I put chats there, right? Put a comma after it. That will be a universal app bar. I'm doing at the nav dot that side, right? And then the nav dot that we just have to worry. I'm refreshing. So there's a universal chart there, right? I can set the color and everything that we did before. Let me quickly set the color. So that will be like background color, and the background color will be colors dot. What did we use? Let's say blue, just to make it different a bit. Um, yeah, so it is now blue, right? But then our screen is still the same screen. So but then this screen, this particular, this the issue we are going to have is that when I go to this page, you can see there is app bar on that page, on that specific page that we used before. And then this is universal app bar. If I go here, universal app bar, so we don't want that, right? This is a universal app bar for the whole system. Some systems you don't want to have it like that. You may want different app bar for each screen. So for this particular one, we are going to remove the universal app bar, right? Universal app bar, I'm removing it from the universal app bar. Then I go to the specific screen. So the screen that we are focusing on, let me go here, is this one. So we go to the home screen, and then it's right now is returning list view, right? But what we want to do is that first we want, because we want to include an app bar, we are going to actually return, put it inside a column. So we are going to put everything inside a column, right? So now the column is now having a children, and the component is a list view. The very first component in the column should be the app bar. Use the widget directly, because we are not in scaffold. We are not in scaffold for you to use app bar comma whatever. But here we are just borrowing that for this particular screen. So we can have an app bar here, and then have title, um test. The test is charts. Here is going to be a chart page, right? We are not going to center. We can set the background color to blue, background color to colors dot blue. Then let's run this and see. Let's run this and see. um yeah, so there's a bit of an issue again. Why? Because the inside the screen, we remember list view, uh, is we need to be able to put it inside. We have to put a size around it, right? For each list view and all that. We had that issue the last time. So now what we need to do is that we need to specify a size. For us, in the list view, we are going to put padding. Padding is going to be a constant edge dot insert dot or let's say 5. So we are just putting that around the list view to be able to retain everything for us. So I still don't have that. So we have the app bar. So inside the column, the issue we are having now is that each list star should have um flexible around it, right? Where is flexible? Flexible. Um, you can wrap this with use a container size box or expand it, right? I don't want to do that. I want to have a universal one. So children, mm, list view, and the list view how this has this component, the children, and then the children we are putting this padding around it, and let's say we wrap the list view with flexible. We are putting the list view inside the flexible, right? So now let's run this. Now, so you see the list view itself, we wrap it inside flexible, right? Then it's able to cater for all the children. So now, right now we have it. You can scroll up, can scroll down, can scroll up, you can scroll down. These are the various corrections that we need to do, right? So we said basically we made this change, right? The column we are not using scaffold inside the screen because the scaffold is already taken care of by the nav.dat. That's a key correction, and we are starting with a column. We're starting with a column, and then we are keeping the children. And then for the children, the first item is going to be the app bar of that page, right? Just note that if you follow from the beginning, you understand what we mean by app bar. What we normally put them, we put them in scaffold. But because this particular screen is part of a navigation screen here, right? This is a navigation thing that we did, right? It's part of it. Because it's part of it, it's going to be one of the items. And this particular item is taking the scaffold in general, right? Having a scaffold generalized, and so your screen will have to be retained at the body side. So for that body side, don't be we need not to be retaining screen again. We need to go and then retain a column. Mostly it's column, and then inside that, then you we put. So our first one is app bar, and then then we add any other item that we need to and start working on the rest. Here we are working on a list view. We built this in the last session. So list view allow us to do the scrolling and everything. All right. So we see another version of list view in the next session. And from there, after we see that particular version of it, then we can focus on making a search so that we're able to do a search thing on this page and return only what we want. That's the journey. So yeah.